Hi everyone, today we are going to be using your plan from yesterday to write your recount or your retell of the Dementor on the train scene. So the first thing I would like you to do is I would like you to re-watch the YouTube clip of this scene to refresh your memory so that when you are writing today you can be thinking of all the vocabulary and all of the detail you can see in this scene as you are writing. Okay? When you've done that, come back here. Okay, now we are going to think about our steps to success. So these are the same steps to success as you used last week. However, there is more of a focus on your sentence structure because this is what you've been focusing on this week. However, we are also looking for other things, so let's go through them. So I can use a range of sentence structures. So that means we are looking for complex and compound sentences and simple sentences because we want you to build some suspense. Remember that's what Mrs. Willis went through last Friday, and you can use simple sentences to help you do this. We want you to use adverbs in various positions. So can you use a fronted adverbial? Can you use an adverb in the middle of your sentence, at the end of your sentence? You can use parentheses, so you're using brackets, dashes, commas to add that extra information. You can use high-level vocabulary. So that's what you went through yesterday as well with Mrs. Willis. When you were planning this scene, you can write in your best neat cursive handwriting, and you can check your spellings as well as using year 5, 6 spellings, which is brilliant. Okay, so first I'm going to model write for you, and then we are going to self-assess. What I wanted to say though was last week Mrs. Willis and I noticed that many of you just took Mrs. Willis's modelled write and basically copied it and changed a few words. Okay, this week we don't want to see that. We want to see your brilliant ideas coming through. We want you to make your own ideas and think about how the modelled write can help you, but not to copy it. Okay, so we want you to try your best to make it your own this week. So let's do our modelled write. So remember, I'm focusing on sentence structure, and then we are going to self-assess. Okay, so as the Hogwarts Express, so that's the name of the train they are on, raced through the dreary hills, Harry and his friends, Ron and Hermione. So I've used my parentheses and brackets there. Discussed the recently escaped prisoner. Sirius Black. Okay, and we find out a bit more about Sirius Black as the story goes on. Okay, and you can also see I have used some parentheses there as well using a comma. Okay, suddenly, so I'm using a fronted adverbial, the train grinded to a halt. So that means it stopped, and the air turned bitter. So and is one of my fanboys, so I've got a compound sentence. Searching for answers, fronted adverbial or a subordinate clause, Harry scanned the corridor outside of his cabin. So we've got some more parentheses there, giving that extra detail of where the corridor was, but was met with a sea of confused faces. So there I've used a metaphor. Okay, I'm saying there was a lot of faces like the sea. Okay, the train jerked. Harry was thrown back into his seat while a grim feeling descended over the train. Something was coming. Okay, so that is the first few, maybe the first minute of the scene. Okay, so the scene you were watching. I'm not going to go any further than that because I want to make sure you're using your own ideas this week. Okay, so now we are going to self-assess my writing using this here. So have I used high-level vocabulary? Have I used adverbs in various positions? Can I use parentheses? Can I use a range of sentence structures? Can I write a neat cursive handwriting? Have I checked my spellings? Okay, so first I'm going to go through and look for my high level vocabulary. So what I want to do is make this a bit shorter. Oh. And I'm going to put in my margin, and then I can put my marking codes in like you will. Okay, so I've got my yellow highlighter. You guys might just underline with a pencil. So I've got raced, dreary, escaped, grinded to a halt, scanned, sea of confused faces, jerked, thrown, descended, grim. Okay, grim means like a serious feeling or something quite gloomy or worrying or something like that. Okay, so that's why I've used the word grim. So next to all of these I could put a V. It's very hard to write on a laptop like this. Okay, so I could put a V for my vocabulary next to them. Then have I used a range of sentence structures? So here I have got my complex sentence. So here is my subordinate clause. Okay, here is my main clause. Again, here is it's a subordinate clause. I've got searching for answers. Outside of his cabin, I've got a fanboy. I've got another fanboy. Okay. I've got a subordinate clause. That's indicated by while, which we know is a subordinate conjunction. Okay. So I've got a complex sentence, a compound sentence, complex compound sentence, because but is a fanboy, but this is a subordinate clause. And I've got a complex sentence here, and I've got two simple sentences. So I've got a range of clauses. Okay, have I used parentheses? Yes, I have. So I have used my brackets to show my parentheses of Ron and Harry, Hermione even. I've used a comma as brackets, a comma for parentheses to give extra information about who the prisoner was. I've used commas here for parentheses to tell me where the corridor was. So the corridor was outside of Harry's cabin. Okay, so I have used parentheses. I can't check my handwriting because I've typed it, however you can, and I checked my spellings as I went. However, this is something you can go back and do yourself. Okay, so I hope you are ready to do some brilliant writing. Mrs. Willis and I are excited to see it. Let us know if you need any help, and that's it from me.